be discussing about testes. Testes are one pair which are located in scrotal region outside the body, which are located one pair of oval shaped structures, oval or egg shaped structures, egg shaped or oval shaped or egg shaped structures which are located in extra abdominal cavity in scrotal region. They are hanging in scrotal region. These testes, especially for whatever is there, these testes are covered with what? Three membranes, three layers. The three layers are tunica vaginalis, tunica vasculosa, and very very important, tunica albuginea. Albuginea. Okay, very very important. Why? Because this is the inner layer, the tunica albuginea. Okay, if you observe that this is what the oval shaped structure we can call what, especially for testes. This testis is covered with what? Membranes for protection. What is that one? Tunica vaginalis, tunica vasculosa, and the inner side it is covering with the what? Testis is covered with tunica albuginea. The tunica albuginea, this is the fibrous, white fibrous sheath, and it foldings and forms compartments. What is that one? Compartments? The room-like structure. It is divided in testes. Okay, for example, this is tunica albuginea and folds and forms compartments. It is not possible to show all compartment. It is divided. Tunica albuginea is the white fibrous sheath. It is forms inside the testes like compartment. How many compartment it will be formed? 200 to 300 compartment. 250 compartments also is given. 200 to, that is compartments we can call testicular compartments. Approximately 250 to 300 compartments. Testicular compartments. That means tunica albuginea folded forms compartments. That means compartments means room like, just like it's separated. Okay, one. Okay, train compartments. Okay, like that. It is a device, room like structures. Okay, it is a compartment. How many compartment? 200 to 300 compartments. And each and every testis it is divides. Tunica albuginea foldings inside and forms compartment. We call that compartment testicular compartments. In the testicular compartments, okay, each and every testicular compartment having what? Testicular compartment. Okay, I'll draw here. And each and this is one compartment. In that compartment, actually, foldings is there. These are we can call seminophoral tubules. Seminophorous tubules. These seminophorous tubules are located inside the each and every compartment. 1 to 3 seminophoral tubules is there. These seminophoral tubules, okay, for example 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3. In some compartments having only one seminophoral tubule, which is the folding sheath. Okay, one seminophoral tubule. In these seminophoral tubules, okay, each and every seminophoral tubule, okay, these are the seminophoral tubule which are foldings. You can call seminophoral tubules. 1, 2, 3 seminophoral tubules is there. Seminophorous tubules. Each and every seminophorous tubules, it consists 2 types of cells. 2 types of cells. One is germ cells. Second one is Sertoli cells. What is the between germ cells and Sertoli cells? That means not possible to show 250 compartments. I am drawing some compartment only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 compartments only. But in that compartments, the foldings is there. That foldings we can call 1, 2, 3 foldings is there. That is we can call seminoporal tubules. These tubules are consist two types of cells. One is germ cells, other one Sertoli cells. Okay, if you draw what germ cells and Sertoli cells, the germ cells, that means it is useful for spermatogenesis. In spermatogenesis occurs in germ cells. That means the sperm's production of sperms occurs in germ cells. Cytosis cells giving nourishment. Nourishment means what? Nutrients to the nutrients. Give the nutrient to the for spermatogenesis. It provides nutrition, nutrients. For example, if you take one seminoporal tubule, LS of seminoporal tubules, okay, these are the seminoporal tubules. Okay, in seminoporal tubules, two types of cells is there. Some are called Sertoli cells, and which are cuboidal in structure. Cuboidal in structure, we can call these are cube structure, cuboidal structure. These are like that. Cuboidal structures we can call germ cells. Each and every cell will be consist two types of one seminoporal tubule. If you took what seminoporous tubules, LS of seminoporal, longitudinal section of seminoporal tubules, if you observe, we will observe two types of cells. Some cells are cuboidal structure. That cells we can call germ cells. And other cells, which are other cells, we can call especially Sertoli cells. These Sertoli cells especially useful for giving nutrients for germination, provide nutrients, nourishment, nutrients to the production of germ cells. These are useful for production of spermatogenesis. And between space is there. This space is a connective tissue between seminoporal tubules having space. That space we can call interstitial space. In interstitial space, some more cells is there. That cells we can call Leydig cells. What we call Leydig cells. What is the use of Leydig cells? Okay, remember, the Leydig cells are useful for it will be releasing male androgens. What is the meaning of male androgen? Male androgen means what? Male hormones. That is what? Testosterone. It provides what? Testosterone. Okay, try to remember here. Okay, first listen. This is testis, which is oval shaped or egg shaped structure. The size of testis is 4 to 6 centimeters. 4 to 6 centimeter. The width of testis is 2 to 3 centimeters. Try to understand. This is weight is 2 to 3 centimeter. The length of testis is 4 to 6 centimeters. This testis is covered with 3 membranes: tunica vaginalis, tunica vasculosa, and inner one tunica albuginea, which is the white fibrous sheath. This white fibrous sheath folding inside and forms compartment. compartments. Testicular compartment. Each and every testicular compartments, it consists of what? Seminiferous tubules. Each seminiferous tubules contain two types of cells. That is, we can call Sertoli cells and germ cells. Germ cells produce what? Sperm cells. Spermatogenesis occurs in germ cells. Sertoli cells provides nourishment and nutrients to the production of germ cells. And between the germ cells, between the seminiferous tubule, space is there. That space we can call interstitial space. In interstitial space, leading cells is there. These leading cells releasing what? Very important. That is provides what? Male androgens. Male androgen is the male hormone, nothing but testosterone, which is a cause of what? Male characters. Okay, so that we have to write short form. Okay, just simple. Testicular lobules. Testicular lobules are compartments. Compartments approximately 200 to 300. Some books given 250 also. And each and every testicular having what? Seminiferous tubules. How many seminiferous tubules? 1, 2, 3 seminiferous tubules, each and every compartment, which is the folding tubules. After seminiferous tubules, so in seminiferous tubule, two types of cells. One is germ cells and other one is Sertoli cells. Germ cells releasing what? It is useful for spermatogenesis. Sertoli cells, it is provides nourishment or nutrients to the for production of spermatogenesis. In seminiferous tubule between seminiferous tubules having space, that space we can call interstitial space. Interstitial space. In interstitial place, what type of cells? Leading cells. Leading cells gives what? Male androgens. Male androgen means nothing but testosterone hormone. Testosterone hormone. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about axillary ducts. Before going to discuss about axillary ducts, for example, testes, oval shaped structure, which is a oval shaped external structure. In testes, the inner layer is what? Tunica albuginea, which is tunica albuginea. This tunica albuginea, actually what will be happen? It forms compartments. Already we learned it forms compartments. These compartments are especially for 250 to 300 compartments. These compartments, inside the compartment we are observed seminiferous tubules, 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules, coil structures, seminiferous tubules. These seminiferous tubules, the end of the seminiferous tubule straight and form what? What we call rete testes. A seminiferous tubule, end of the seminiferous tubule. For example, okay, this is a compartment. In that compartment, these seminiferous tubules, 1, 2, 3 seminiferous tubules, the ending straight, whatever straight tubules, the end of the seminiferous tubules combined and form a delicate tabular structures we can call rete testis. These are the rete testis. End of the seminiferous tubules, which is the delicate. These are we can call rete testis. Rete testis are the delicate tabular structures which are located at mediastinum or end of the seminiferous tubules. Okay, end of the seminiferous, where does it is having straight structures, it forms just tubular structures. We can call these are rete testes. And rete testes, these are open into what? Efferentia, vasa efferentia. Tabulars, one more tabulars we can call vasa efferentia, not efferentia, efferentia, vasa efferentia. These vasa efferentias are convoluted means what? Coiled. Okay, convoluted tubules. These are open into, these tubules are open into the structure. We can call these structure, we can call especially the coil structure. These structure we can call what? Epididymis. Epididymis. That means the end of the seminiferous tubules, whatever stated end of the seminiferous tubules forms what? Rete testis. These rete testis, and these are open into vasa efferentia. Vasa efferentia. What is in vasa efferentia? Convoluted tubule. That is the folding tubules. These vasa efferentia open into coil structure. The coil structure we can call epididymis. Epididymis. This epididymis, which is a coil structure. What is the main advantage of epididymis? This epididymis it is a coil structure of tubules. It is divided into three parts. One is caput. Okay, epididymis. Second one is carpus epididymis. And third one is tail epididymis or caudal. Caudal means last. Caudal epididymis. Try to understand. This means, for example, seminiferous tubules are open into rete testis. Rete testis are forms tubular structures. We can call convoluted tubules. These are we can call vasa efferentia. These vasa efferentia open into the head part of the epididymis. The head part we can call caput epididymis. Cap means head. Or caput epididymis. Other name we can call caput epididymis, or we can call head epididymis. Or caput epididymis, or this is body. The middle part we can call body. This is body epididymis. After caudal means last, tail epididymis. Or other names also is there. One is caput, caput epididymis, which is open into vasa efferentia. Or middle part we can call carpus epididymis, or we can call body epididymis. Last region we can call tail epididymis or caudal epididymis. These epididymis, what are the main functions of epididymis? The main function of epididymis, is, okay, one is storage. What there are storage? The function of epididymis. Okay, function of epididymis, storage And second one, passing or transport. What they transport? Sperm cells. Sperm cells. They are passing through with what? It is storage. It remains some time in epididymis. Then it is a passing through with what? Through with epididymis. Into epididymis, the caudal epididymis opens into what we call, that is we can call vasa. Next part is vasa deferens. Vasa deferens, especially for it is made up of smooth tissue, and these are also tubules. Vasa, for example, this is ovary, epididymis. These epididymis are open into tubules. We can call these tubules, we can call especially vasa deferens. Vasa deferences are made up of smooth tissue, and these are not coiled tubules. Vasa efferentia is the convoluted, that means foldings, lot of folding. But vasa deferens is the tubule-like structure which are made up of smooth tissue. These vasa deferences, the main function is they are passing the sperm cell through with them, passing the sperm cells, and these are open into, we can call urethra or urethra. Urethra is the common passage of urine and sperm cells. Urethra into especially urethra, so that we can call urethra is the next part after urethra, urethral meatus. Urethral meatus opens into the penis. Urethral meatus. These are, especially we are observed, these are the accessory ducts which is the passing the sperm cells through with them. What are accessory ducts? Easy to learn. How we will learn accessory ducts? Accessory means helping. How they are helping? Accessory, the main function of accessory ducts are two functions. What are they? Accessory ducts main function is, accessory ducts main function is storage of sperm cells and transport or passage of sperm cells. This is the main function of what? Accessory ducts. The first one, seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules. These are open into what? Rete testis. Rete testis. Rete testis are open into vasa efferentia, which is convoluted folding. Okay, efferentia. Vasa efferentia open into vasa efferentia epididymis. Epididymis. Epididymis opens into vasa deferens. Vasa deferens opens into urethra. Okay, urethra opens into penis. That is the genital part. Okay, these are what? The passage of what? Sperm cells. Sperm cells are passing through these ducts. So that you have to remember the names. Okay, first, very easy. First, testes, which is a oval shaped structure. The testes are open into what we call, this is rete testis. Rete testis, tubules are formed, convoluted tubules are formed. These are, we can call vasa efferentia. Vasa efferentia opens into head of the what we call epididymis. Epididymis opens into vasa efferentia. Vasa deferences. Vasa deferences opens into what? Urethra. Urethra opens into penis. Okay. These are the parts especially for useful to passage and storage of what? Storage of sperm cells. Especially epididymis. These are the head region, caput epididymis, Carpus epididymis, caudal. Caudal means last. Caudal epididymis. Caput epididymis, carpus epididymis, and third one is caudal epididymis. Or if you thought that easy to learn, head epididymis, body epididymis, and caudal means tail epididymis. This epididymis is what coil structures. Coil structure. So many coils, the tubules are coiled. Coil structures. These coil structures are open into vasa differences. Vasa difference is the tube-like structures. Tube-like structure which is just passing what? Sperm cells into urethra. Urethra opens into urinogenital pore and urethral meatus into penis. Okay. Next we have to discuss about what? Next one what? Accessory glands we have to discuss. Now we are going to discuss what? Accessory glands. These glands are useful for what? Nutrition. Provide the nutrition to the what? Sperm cells and nourishment to the sperm cells. Provides nutrients to the sperm cells. What are accessory glands? Accessory glands are seminal vesicle, prostate gland 1 and bulbourethral glands. In male reproductive system, in human being male reproductive system, 3 types of accessory glands. One is seminal vesicles. One pair of seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle opens into urethra. Urethra opens into seminal vesicle. That means the sperm cells are enter into the vasa through with vasa differences. Sperms are enter into the urethra. Through with urethra, it is open into seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle release into urethra. Seminal vesicle release into urethra some fluid. That fluid is what we call. That fluid we can call semen. That means seminal vesicle released what? It released some fluid, alkaline fluid. That fluid name is what? Semen. In that semen, actually, some type of enzymes and also vitamin C, fructose. That means it provides the nutrients to the sperm cells. Seminal vesicles releasing what? It producing what? Semen. Semen is what? Alkaline fluid. This alkaline fluid contains fructose, vitamin C, enzymes, some type of hormone. These are useful for to provide the nutrients to the sperm cells. They provide the nutrients to the sperm cells. So that the seminal vesicles releasing semen into the urethra. And next gland is prostate gland. Second gland is what? Prostate gland. One prostate gland is located below the seminal vesicle. This prostate gland, especially it is releasing what? The milky-like substance. Just fluid. This is also fluid, milky-like substance. That milky-like substance, that means we can call prostate fluid. That is useful for easy moving of sperm cells in urethra. The movement of it is useful for motile of sperm cells. What is the meaning of motile? Moving in urethra. So that it is a milky-like substance. It is releasing milky-like substance, prostate gland. That milky-like substance we can call prostate fluid. That is useful for motile, moving of sperm cells. After that one, bulbourethral or Cowper glands. Cowper glands. Bulbourethral or Cowper glands. These are rich in mucoproteins. It contains mucoproteins. It is that fluid also. It is also releasing fluid. These are also useful for lubricate of what? Especially for sperm cells. It provides the nutrients and lubricate the sperm cells, and also very important, neutralize the acidic urine whatever remaining in urethra. Okay, one concept we have to discuss. Urethra is a urinogenital pore or tube. Urinogenital, the word. That means through with urethra, urine is passing, and genital means what? Sperm cells also passing through with only one duct, that is urethra. Through with urethra, urine and sperm cells are passing through with only one duct, that is urethra. Urethra opens into urethral meatus. Okay, but here we are discussing about axillary glands. These axillary glands provide what? Nutrients and also what? Fluid. They are releasing fluid. They lubricate and provide the nutrients to the sperm cells. All are especially for seminal vesicle, prostate gland, okay, bulbourethral or Cowper gland. These glands are what? Produce what? Fluid-like substance. This fluid-like substance is useful for motile, provides nourishment, and also useful for, it gives some nutrients to the sperm cells. Okay. Now, part of what? Sexual reproduction, male reproductive system, that is we can call, okay, external genitalia. What is that external? Outside, which is useful for ejaculation, which is useful for sending outside, which is useful to sending the sperm cells into female body, which is that is secondary sexual character of the male reproductive system. That is nothing but we can call penis. The penis, what is the main function of penis? The sperm cells are passing through with axillary ducts, through with urethra opens into what? Penis. In penis, through with penis, it is sending to the female body. It is sending whatever sperm cells are enter into the female body through with what? Penis. Penis is the external. So that we are using external genitalia. That is the external organ, secondary sexual organ. In that, this part of this penis actually, this is made up of blood vessels. Okay, so that I have told rough diagram. Okay, it is made up of what? Okay, urethra. Sorry. This is urethra. It is open into urethral meatus, and this is the foreskin of penis. Okay. Anyway, here if you observe it there, okay, this penis is made up of what? Blood vessels, and it is connective tissues is there, and in that erectile, that means when the mating is especially at the time, it is the organ, okay, contraction and relax, showing the contraction and relaxation, and it's erect. Why? Because it erect straight, okay, it is standing in straight. How it is possible means what? In that erectile tissue is there. I don't remember the names. That's why we are explaining. Erectile tissue is corpus cavernosum, and corpus spongiosum, corpus cavernosum. These are the erectile tissue. That means it is what? Sometimes it will become strong. The reason of what? The tissue is located corpus cavernosum and corpus spongiosum. Okay, the main function of external genitalia, that is the penis, it is sending the sperm cells into female body. It is useful for ejaculation, sending ejaculation of sperm cells. Okay, thank you.